All right, welcome to the Cult of Wrestling tonight, and we are going to do a 2-day review, a pretty quick review of the matches that happened during day one and day two, night one and two of WrestleMania. WrestleMania, I think it's 37 right now. We'll just say 2021, so it doesn't seem as old as it is, or that I'm as old as I am. The first WrestleMania was on my birthday, by the way. So there were two nights overall. Were there enough matches for two nights? Yes, there was. Did it perform well overall? Well, we're gonna do a quick overview of each of these right now, and I do mean we're gonna do it pretty quickly, and we'll make our decisions. Remember, this is just my review. It's subjective, so if you like certain matches better or less, that's okay. That's fine. But with that being said, let's get right into it. So first off, and I will get some of these matches in the wrong order. I'm just going to say that right now, and I do apologize if I do. First off is a WWE Championship match with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre had been built up the year before this and been like a pretty dominant champion. Then the Hurt Business was really getting over, so he broke them up. Okay. So this was Bobby Lashley with MVP by his side, Drew McIntyre. Now, they did the smart thing of having Drew not do the Claymore kick anytime in the match because basically they want to protect his finisher. I understand that. Do I think that Bobby Lashley was the right person to win the match? Not so much. However, it was an okay match. Yeah, am I going to do this at a five type thing? No, I'm not. I'm just going to say if it's okay or not okay. And I could say this is what 3 out of 5 type thing, but we're not going to go with that. We're not going to do it like out of 5. We're just going to say it's not a bad starter. Next up, we get here Omos and AJ Styles against the New Day. Now, the baffling thing about this is overall this is a decent tag team match. Not a great tag team match, but a decent one. Protects Omos and brings him in to the WWE fold as a wrestler. However, there's a baffling choice to book the good guys, the New Day, with heel tactics all throughout the match, and it really took me out of the match. It didn't seem in character for New Day for the way that they were being portrayed. Remember when Kofi Mania was a thing? Well, yeah, I'm guessing that's totally done now because he pretty much he won the match by putting his foot on him, not even pin, like just putting his foot on him, and that was it. 1, 2, 3, and okay. Next up is Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon in the I'm Not Dumb match. It was a steel cage match, and it delivers. It really does. It plays to the strengths of Braun Strowman and the strengths of Shane McMahon, which is doing crazy bumps. That's what Shane McMahon does. And he does it extremely well. He's done it for years now. And the fact that he's the age that he is right now and still doing them kind of blows my mind. Some people say, well, why does this guy put himself out and take a spot that a wrestler could have taken? He doesn't have to do any spots at all. Here's a guy, he's a millionaire, and he doesn't have to do jack, but he does. And he just doesn't go in and kind of half-ass it either. No, this was a killer match. The Braun got over extremely well in this match here. The scene where Braun basically just rips open the cage and pulls Shane McMahon back in was incredible. I thought this was going to be the spot of the night. This was going to be like an incredible match, and that spot there was going to be like because I'm a hardcore fan. This was going to be like it, but nope, they didn't go with just that. He threw him off the top of the cage, and it looked insane. This was a barn burner of a match, and I really enjoyed it. Next up is, and remember, like I said, I'm not doing these in the right order, so don't worry about that, is the Women's Tag Team Turmoil match. And this was unfortunately really, really, really bad. There are some talented wrestlers in here. Some ones that can do pretty good stuff. Naomi, Carmella, for instance. And there are some other wrestlers in here, and those other wrestlers are the ones that won. Not that I got anything against Natalya. I think Natalya is extremely talented. However, Natalya and Tamina, not a great tag team. However, this booking gets worse. We'll get to that, actually. All right, up next is Bad Bunny and Damian Priest against Miz and Morrison. This is what everyone expected to be the kind of the worst match of the show. It was pretty derided, and what is Bad Bunny doing in a wrestling ring? And apparently what he's doing is a Canadian freaking destroyer. That's what he's doing. And he went in and he stayed in for most of the 15-minute match that he did. He took bumps like crazy, was did extremely well in the ring. Miz, who did a majority of the wrestling against Bad Bunny. Morrison did some as well, but Miz was kind of like Miz was really working with Bad Bunny to look good. But here's the thing: if you don't have some natural talent or you don't work your butt off in the to get in there, then you're going to come off as just like somebody outside wrestling that's kind of doing a half-ass type of job. This is not the case here. Bad Bunny looks amazing in this one here, partially because of Miz and Morrison and Damian Priest, but in large part due to the fact that this guy obviously put in the work. This was a fantastic match, and it was talked about the next day for obvious reason, especially Bad Bunny's Canadian Destroyer on the outside of the ring. One of my favorite moves, by the way. Petey Williams, you have not been forgotten. Next up, we got Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. And this was a feel-good match, actually. Cesaro and Seth Rollins. Cesaro is one of those guys. He's been a really good wrestler, workman wrestler. They don't seem to know what to do with him. They keep giving him different gimmick after different gimmick. They don't really seem to work, but he got a really great wrestling acumen, and people really appreciate Cesaro. He's not only a good wrestler, he's well-liked. Seth Rollins does a great job with Cesaro. Cesaro's really put over here, made to seem extremely strong, and of course, it's Cesaro's match. Next up, we have the title match for the evening, and man, is this ever a great title match. We got Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. I expected this to be good. I did not expect this to be as good as it was. I do think that Bianca Belair, unfortunately, got a little bit too emotional at the start of the match, before the match started, which, for me anyway, kind of gave away the fact that, oh, she's going over tonight. But that being said, they put off an insanely great match. Really, really enjoyed it. And yes, what a hell of a WrestleMania main event. Would this be the best WrestleMania main event out of the two? Well, we're going to find out soon, actually. All right, next up, we've got The Fiend and Randy Orton, and this started night 2 of WrestleMania, and this sucked. There's no way to sugarcoat this one at all. Alexa Bliss looked incredibly cool for her portions of the match that she had to do. Here's the thing. Randy Orton does a great job doing what Randy Orton does, because Randy Orton's a really good wrestler. Again, Bray Wyatt, not bad. The Fiend, I'm sorry. Not, again, a pretty good wrestler as well, but he's playing this really scary character, but he's not pulling off the scariness. He's pulling off the scariness when he's got vignettes. He's pulling off scariness during some matches, but in this match here, the Fiend was not scary. He was honestly a bit more sluggish than I expected. No real great spooky moments or great psychology like that you would have like for an Undertaker or even a Kane match or even a Mankind match in here for Bray Wyatt. I would suggest that the kind of course correct here as best as you can, and Bray Wyatt watch a few of the early Mankind matches to get sort of the physicality that you need to put over this kind of a psychotic character. Because honestly, the Fiend does not, aside from the mask, the Fiend's character and his wrestling in this match does not come off as a scary character, and it seemed like they really buried him, but kind of put over Alexa Bliss. It's a shame because I do think he's a talented wrestler, but this was not his night. This was not his WrestleMania. Hopefully he can come back from this. Next up is a match that surprised me. Big E versus Apollo Creed. in a Nigerian drum match, which it's basically a hardcore match, is what it is. And you know what? It was a really good match. I There were some surprises here. We got the introduction of a new wrestler, an NXT wrestler comes up. I'm guessing he's coming up to kind of to work as like maybe like the right hand guy for Apollo Crews. We get a championship change here as well. And again, great match. I went in with very little expectation for the Big E Apollo Crews match and came out very happily and pleasantly surprised. Next up is the Riddle and Sheamus match, which was overall a pretty good match. There was one part there where I think Sheamus kind of made an error, but you know it happens. It's a live show. It's an okay match. I wouldn't say it's great, but they do a decent job of working off each other. All right. So last on the first night, Natalia and Tamina won to face off against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I will go down and I'll say this right now. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler is the worst female tag team I've ever seen in professional wrestling. Uh, so it went in with a story of having Natalia, who's been working for a long time, and Tamina, who's been in WWE for 10 years, and really they've really never really, especially Tamina, never really accomplished that goal that they wanted to. So my thoughts were, okay, I guess they're going to give it to Natalia and Tamina because one, they're better workers than Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and I know Shayna gets a lot of credit, but as a tag team with Nia Jax, it doesn't really work, and it'd be great to break them up so that we can have a bit of a feel good moment here, and we have Natalia and Tamina kind of doing their thing. None of these four are who we want to see as tag team champions, but at least there's a feel good moment with Tamina and Natalia, and that didn't happen. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler retained, and this match sucked. It really did. Next up is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens with Logan Paul as a pretty much sitting at ringside. This was really good. The psychology behind the match was really solid. Owens and Sami Zayn have worked together for years. It shows in this match. If I had any complaint at all, this match is a bit too short, but I did love this match. For me, it's probably it's probably the match of the night because they really pull it off, and they pull it off extremely well. I just wish it would have been longer, but then again, maybe that's because I just enjoyed what these men were doing in the ring so much. There are some great and crazy spots here, and I enjoyed all of them. The women's tag team, sorry, the women's, well, no, the women's championship match tonight: Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. A star turn for Rhea Ripley, a little bit slow at the end when she does that final move, but it had been one heck of a match. She did a great job, kind of putting each other over, and I think Rhea Ripley is, she definitely has the makings of a star. And let's just hope that they follow up with her and they don't end up burying her when Charlotte comes back eventually. Now we get to the last match of the night. Three incredible wrestlers: Edge, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns. It's a three-way match. This has all the epicness uh, and like storytelling to be the match of WrestleMania, to be the one that really, really gets each one of these guys over, does an amazing job, and it does not do that. There's so much great wrestling in this match. Edge and Daniel Bryan kill it. Roman Reigns does a great job, but here's the thing: they use Jey Uso, and yes, Roman Reigns is a heel character, so he's going to have the interference, but they use Jey Uso way, way too much to the detriment of Reigns. And at the end of the day, what happens is we have a match that could have been this amazing WrestleMania epic match get let down by just too much interference. It was way too overbooked. This could have been just a match between the three of these, just going nuts. And that's all you need, because you have three incredible wrestlers, and Roman Reigns could have found other ways to basically to brutalize, to sneak through, to win the match. Having Jay come in at the end of the match and just literally almost win the match for him pretty much kills any real heat that Roman had at the beginning of this match, and it leaves it feeling like it's unfinished. Now, my better half said, well, maybe they'll build it up to another match like in the next pay-per-view. But WrestleMania this is the year period it's supposed to end all your storylines that came up before it, which started usually at Royal Rumble, and start up a whole new season of your of their programming. The have new characters, new storylines, new struggles. I don't want to see this match again. Uh, I really don't, unless they can really play this better than they did here. And one thing they have to do, if they are going to do this match again, because this should have been the best that it's ever been. Seeing a WrestleMania match not be the top match that it should be, and a main event, no less, bothers me. They got to ban Jey Uso from ringside. They got to do it, and they got to do it in a way that he can't. I don't care. Use a Hell in a Cell. Use a three-way Hell in a Cell match. And you know what? Still, that's lazy, because what they should have done was, if they were going to do this, if they're going to have Jey interfere like this, if they're going to continue this, which I'm not sure they're going to do, maybe they will, maybe they won't, then what they should have done was they should have done that at Fastlane rather than having the match that they had. This should have been booked better in the beginning. Jey Uso is not a bad wrestler. It has nothing to do with Jey Uso. I got nothing against him. It's not his fault. He's booked to do what he was booked to do. And what happened in this match is it was bad. It was really, really bad. And there you go. I think I've gotten all the matches. I'm just gonna look at the cards here just to see. Drum match. Yep. Randy Orton versus The Fiend. I'm just check to make sure that I didn't miss anything here, guys. There was 2 America the Beautiful. I'm okay. Other than that, basically, we had some pretty cringeworthy moments with Titus and Hulk Hogan. What the hell did Bayley do to deserve this painful ding-dong characterization that she's having right now? Here is a pretty strong, extremely strong, solid female wrestler, and they pretty much made her into the modern-day Vicky Guerrero. And that's great for Vicky Guerrero, but Bayley is a solid wrestler. She should be wrestling, and this is kind of nuts. Anyway, I am Aaron. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Please like, share, subscribe. There will be a donation link down below if you would like to help the channel that way. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I do a lot of videos here, mostly on movies, on comics, on video games sometimes. I kind of mix it up every once in a while and do a little one with wrestling and stuff, so you never know what's going to happen. I do have a Patreon where I do special live videos, and I've started a brand new series called The Crimson Cut. If you want to know what that is, you can check it out. It's with me and my better half, and I will see you here soon in the Call to Cinema. Hope you enjoyed this kind of side quest to the Call to Wrestling.